Let's get some analysis on this now from Shahram Akbarzadeh, who joins me from Melbourne in Australia. He's director of the Middle East Studies Forum at Deakin University. Thank you so much for coming on. I mean, the estimates differ, but I think it was Amnesty International claimed that it was around 1,500 people reportedly were killed by government troops quite openly and savagely back in 2019. It was a vicious crackdown. It sounds, from what our correspondent says there, as if the government is taking a different approach and is willing to speak to people who are on the streets and actually says it understands why they're unhappy. Do you think we are going to see a very different situation this time round?
Well, thanks for having me. I think you're absolutely right. The government of President Pezeshkian is trying to learn from the experience of past riots and popular upsurge of discontent. In the past, the government has cracked down heavily on people's protesting. It has led to death, arrests, arbitrary arrest, torture of many protesters. This time around, Pezeshkian is trying to say, well, we actually understand that there are legitimate grievances. We don't want to fan the fires of discontent. We try to find a middle ground and somehow appease the protesters. The problem is the government of Pezeshkian doesn't have the tools to address the concerns. The devaluation of Iranian currency, inflation, all of those are a result of international sanctions on Iran and Iran's non-compliance, as they say, by Europeans, non-compliance of the nuclear deal, which led the Security Council, as we heard, to reinstate international sanctions. So until there is an agreement on the nuclear issue, these sanctions will continue and it will bite really hard on ordinary Iranian citizens.
Do you think that the public will understand that and sympathise, or are they just going to want a change of government? If their lives are too expensive and they're suffering in reality, are they just going to want to regime change themselves from within?
Well, the public understands. The Iranian people are quite savvy. They understand that Iranian economy is in free fall because of the policies pursued by the Islamic regime. That's why one of the chants we hear by protesters is not Gaza, not Lebanon, but let's focus on Iran. It's a very clear message that says Iranian commitment to building a network of proxies in the region with Hamas, Hezbollah, Bashar al-Assad in Syria, to challenge the United States and to invest Iranian resources to maintain these network of proxies has led to this point of Iran being so isolated and friendless in the region. So the population in Iran are fed up. That's what we're seeing, a complete break with the ideology of the ruling regime.
And just finally, just one last quick question. Do you think that this will actually be enough pressure? People on the streets, the fact the currency is tanking, that will be enough for the government to make a deal when it comes to the nuclear program?
Unfortunately, I don't think the Iranian government responds to popular demands. The Iranian government is not a democracy. The Iranian political system is not a democracy. It is a system based on the interest of the clerical regime, and the supreme leader sets the parameters of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. He draws red lines, and he has drawn a red line under the nuclear issue and Iran's missile technology, which is again in the news in the past few days. President Trump has threatened that he would bomb Iran into oblivion again if Iran pursues its missile program. So all indicators suggest that we are in for a really rough ride in 2026 with more conflict on the horizon.
Shahram, it was great to speak to you. Thanks so much for coming on. Shahram Akbarzadeh is my guest, Director of the Middle East Studies Forum at Deakin University. Appreciate it.